So welcome to the channel. My name is James. I'm a trainee accountant, and in this video I want to talk about my journey to becoming a chartered accountant, starting from the very beginning, working up to where I am now, and then also looking forward as to what my plans for the future may be. So originally I wasn't looking to become an accountant, I wasn't looking to become a bookkeeper. My plan was to start my own business, and running your own business, it's important to be able to keep and manage the books, and therefore it made sense to go on a course and learn how to manage that side of the business. Also, there's the famous quote from Warren Buffett where he basically says that accountancy is the language of business. He then goes on within that statement to talk about being fluent in the language of business the same way you're fluent in your native language, and he explains how important that is for people involved in business and the success of the business. So it made sense to go to the local college and just enroll on a short 10-week course in bookkeeping. And a year later I came out of that college doing a short course in bookkeeping, which was 10 weeks I think it was, and then another course in accountancy which was another 10-12 weeks, and then on top of that I ended up doing level 2 and level 3 in computerized accounts as well on the original Sage software, which I didn't like that much, but there you go. So it covered a variety of things such as bank reconciliation, how to raise invoices, the importance of keeping cash receipts and maintaining a petty cash book. It involved all those side of things that run the business. We covered things like the trial balance, the profit and loss, the balance sheet. All these things were covered at a basic level, mainly manual stuff, so a lot of written tasks, a lot of written assessments, and it was definitely worthwhile doing the course. And I'm glad I did it. It was at local college, and to be honest, we were in lockdown anyway, so I couldn't do much. A lot of it was online, and it was worth doing it. I learned a lot from it. And then from there, someone said, have you ever considered becoming an accountant? Now at this point, my business ideas had all disappeared because of the COVID lockdowns, thanks to the government. So therefore opportunities were scarce, and therefore it made sense to pursue becoming an accountant. I was good at it, I enjoyed doing it, so why not look further into it? And then from there I moved on to looking elsewhere and started applying for jobs in accountancy practices, started trying to find out what options were available after the ACCA qualification was completed. And after that I ended up getting a job in an accountancy practice, and then I enrolled on AAT, which is the next part of the journey. So I took a position as an apprentice working in practice to get the hands-on experience, and then I also got a day release to go to college, and I studied with AAT, which is the Association of Accounting Technicians, and that consists of level 2, 3 and 4, and that's definitely worthwhile doing. I'm currently at level 4 with a few exams left to go, but you cover a variety of things because accountancy is very broad. So throughout the levels you cover management accountancy. Obviously at each level it gets more technical, more difficult. You also cover things such as VAT and business tax. I didn't enjoy the tax modules that much. You've got to learn them and know them, but I absolutely hated the units. They were my least favourite, shall we say. And you also cover things such as financial accountancy, as well as covering things like business awareness. You do have options as well. The reason why I did business tax was because cash and financial management wasn't available as a unit with my course provider, but I have picked debit and credit management, which it'll be my last exam to do. As well as doing that, there was another course I had to do as part of payroll, which was level 3 in payroll management, and that was with the ICB, the Institute for Certified Bookkeepers. That was about a 6-month course, but it was self-paced. I could do it as quick or as slow as I wanted to, which was helpful and great because obviously balancing that with work and AAT was not fun. All of which do have exams. The AAT pass rate is 70%, which sounds a lot, sounds great. 70%, not a problem, but it's so easy to drop marks in an exam with AAT. And ICB, I think that exam for the payroll course was an 85% pass rate. Again, very little margin for error, but you've got to do the exams. Unfortunately, I don't like exams myself, but they've got to be done to get the qualification. So I've completed AAT. I'm on my last year now, level 4. I've got 2 exams left. I've done the ICB for the payroll course, and moving forward, what is the plan? Well, I said I wanted to become a chartered accountant. So the question is, which path do I pursue? Which path do I go down? And of course, that leaves a couple of options. That leaves ACCA, ACA, or CIMA. Now, of course, having said that, you don't have to continue after AAT. You can just finish AAT and you're highly qualified. You've got a great qualification, and with that, you can go on to pursue a great career. You can apply to become an entrepreneur as well. So you don't have to continue after completing AAT. However, if you do, there are three main options in the UK, at least anyway. The first one is ACA, which tends to be more British based. It's not as internationally recognised as other options, but ACA basically focuses purely on financial accountancy. Now, financial accountancy is more things like preparing the accounts for the year end, such as the trial balance. You've got the things like statements of profit and loss, you've got the balance sheet, etc. It's preparing them. It's more compliance based, so ensuring that your taxes are filed on time. It's understanding the tax system. It's more that sort of area. And ACCA is similar to ACA, which is a little bit confusing, just an extra C in there. And ACCA is more internationally recognised. It is an international qualification. I think their website itself actually has global in it, to give you an idea. And therefore, if I was going to pick between them two, I would definitely prefer ACCA, purely because it is an internationally recognised qualification. That's not to devalue ACA at all, but it just seems to be more of a British thing rather than an international thing. That's my personal preference. There's many people that do ACA. There's nothing wrong with it. That's just your choice. It's up to you. The other option is CIMA, which is specifically more focused on management accountancy. And that means you're more preparing budgets, you're focusing more on cash flows, you're focusing more on decision making and performance and analysis, that sort of thing. It still covers tax, it still covers financial accountancy, you're still learning balance sheets, profit and loss, cash flows, statements and equity. You're still learning all these different things, but it's more geared towards management accountancy. Having said that, it also does cover things like finance and business in a little bit more detail, and it is more for working in industry. So instead of working for a practice where you'll prepare multiple accounts and tax returns for a multitude of businesses, you're probably going to be working for one business, and you're going to be working within there preparing things like budgets and aiding with decision making and data analysis, that sort of thing. So it is a little bit more focused on that rather than compliance, which isn't a bad thing. It's still a great qualification, and to be honest, it is something that I am actually considering. So for me personally, moving forward into the future, I'm torn between CIMA and ACCA. However, I am edging towards CIMA because I don't like the tax side of things, and the idea of doing an entire unit in tax just doesn't sound that appealing to me. And I think CIMA just kind of ticks more of my boxes, and the style of the course, the way it's structured, it just seems a little bit more suited for me. So why do I prefer CIMA over ACCA? Well, as I mentioned before, I didn't enjoy the tax modules at AAT. I did enjoy business tax. I didn't enjoy VAT. My worst results were in both of them. I think business tax I just about scrapped the pass. And honestly, I just didn't enjoy the whole modules as a whole. It's not that I'm against learning tax. I think you do need to learn tax. I'm glad I've learned tax. Most of it's changed, actually, come to think of it, which is just hilarious. Not. But I just don't want to have a full intense unit of tax again, which is what I would have at ACCA. Now, having said that, I still have to cover tax with CIMA. You don't get away with it. You still have to cover it. It's important to know it, to learn, to understand the foundation, the basics of it. But when you learn tax with CIMA, it seems to be mixed in with financial accountancy as a whole, not as a standalone intense unit, which for me is just going to suck the fun out of learning. So that's one of the first reasons. The other reason follows on from that. At ACCA, you have to pick options for your last level, and the options that I would pick would both be management accounts. So I thought, well, why am I picking ACCA if the options I'm going to take are management accountancy options? And then the units I'm looking forward to are the management accountancy units, and therefore I sat back and decided, well, surely if I'm picking those options, I'm looking forward to learning those units more than the others, then why not just go and do CIMA anyway? Another reason why I prefer CIMA is that it just seems to be a bit more of an all-round course as well. Obviously you cover management accounts, that's what CIMA is, but you cover financial accountancy as well, you cover tax, but it also covers financial and business aspect as well, which I think is very important. I like the fact that CIMA is very progressive in its thought. It's always looking to improve. There's a better way of doing it, they'll do it. If there's a better method of calculating, they'll embrace it and teach it. And obviously with the things like AI being on the scene, I think that's very important as well. And then finally, CIMA offers what's called the Financial Leadership Program. And what that means is at each level, you sit one case study exam at the end. And the original way was you do 3 units, an exam for each unit, and then a case study. The Financial Leadership Program doesn't have those 3 exams. You are still tested. There are things like written assessments as well. They're not done under exam conditions, but you still have to submit it and get it marked before you can progress on to the next stage. And I just prefer that kind of flexibility. I like the fact that the exams are removed. It's just one exam per level. That works great for me. It means I've got more control over the speed, how fast, how slow I want to complete the course. And that's really important because I have a family as well. And that's why I'm preferring CIMA in that regard. I just found the course is better structured and suited towards me. And I can deal with one exam a year rather than one every couple of months. It just takes a lot of stress and pressure off me. So that's my journey as an accountant, where I started, where I'm at, and where I'm going. Obviously, this isn't the only way to get into accountancy. There are other paths to pursue and go down. And if you're interested in accountancy, then go and have a little look into it. You can go straight to ACCA or CIMA if you wish. You can go through AAT first and get a taste and see how you feel about it. You can go down the apprenticeship route. There's plenty of options out there. So it's always worth having a look around and figuring out what works for you and what's best for you. This journey's worked great for me, but it might not be what you need. So if you're interested in accountancy, I'd strongly recommend having a little look and see what options are available for you. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. Appreciate your time. I might do another video in the future about different routes into accountancy. We'll see how that goes. But thank you for watching the video. Give it a like, subscribe, and hopefully see you in the next video.